Well, Qantas has named Vanessa Hudson, the airline's current CFO, as the incoming chief executive. She'll take up the post following the retirement of Qantas's veteran Alan Joyce, veteran CEO, who's due to step aside in November. Let's get more analysis now from our business editor, Ross Greenwood. Ross, a not entirely surprising appointment here.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Richard Goyder, the chairman of Qantas, has made two key appointments in the past 2 days, one at the AFL and now one here at Qantas. Vanessa Hudson has been with Qantas for 28 years. She started in its internal audit department and has basically worked in all sorts of facets of Qantas's business, including it as its chief customer officer before taking up the role as its chief financial officer, that having been her background. And so really, in many ways, she was the logical person to replace Alan Joyce, who has been in the job for 15 years. The other aspect of this is also remember that she was a part of the decisions made by the airline during COVID, which included, say, standing down more than 15,000 workers at one stage and 9,800 jobs going during that period to effectively make the airline survive when, as Alan Joyce said, it really had at some stage around 11 weeks of cash left before it went broke. So, you know, she, as the chief financial officer, was instrumental in those decisions at that time. You can see over 5 years, the last 5 years, Qantas' share price, which did plunge during the pandemic, has recovered enormously, as has the profits of the airline, now at record levels, as airline prices and demand are both hot right now.
Yeah, OK, so are we watching for the market to open to see if there's any movement on the share price?
Look, I think you would, naturally. I think that's the obvious thing to do. And Alan Joyce, having been such a polarising figure in Australian aviation, there's no doubt about it. And the interesting part about this, because Vanessa Hudson stood alongside him and watched really, if you like, not only the plaudits come for Alan Joyce, but also clearly the brickbats that have come as a result of not only issues in regards to the quality of Qantas' service during the post-pandemic period, but then also the price of airfares and then the refunds that people got when flights had been cancelled, then the actual flights being cancelled. So, you know, this is not a job for the faint-hearted. This is not a job whereby you can't really, if you like, you know, sort of take it easy. Because remember, at one stage, Alan Joyce closed this airline down, left people stranded around the world, really when he was in a significant industrial action with his staff at that time. So, you know, this is not a job, as I say, for a person who is going to take it easy. This is a job where you've got to expect that there are going to be enormous amounts of criticism from time to time aimed at you, simply because you are the nation's national carrier. It is an emblem of Australia. And so from that point of view, it is one of the most significant jobs in this country as well.
Yeah, it certainly is. First media conference at 10:30. The Qantas Group will be fronting that media conference, I understand. So will it be Vanessa Hudson? Will it be Alan Joyce and the chairman too?
I think certainly Richard Goyder is there. That's my understanding. We'll be there, of course. Bring your details live. We'll see Vanessa Hudson there. In fact, I was talking to her just when they produced the last results. I had a long chat to her about that at that time. And clearly that process was underway at that time. But until you make a decision such as this to appoint the person, you really don't know who's going to be the next chief executive. And, you know, it is an airline whereby there were clearly a number of internal candidates who would have been interviewed for this job. But now Richard Goyder and the board have made their decision. But the issue is, remember that this airline right now, from a profitable point of view, is flying high. And Vanessa Hudson coming in with these many, many years. It's her only job as Qantas, really, in her whole career. And so really, she is a veteran of 28 years in that company. She knows its history, knows its background, and importantly, knows its finances.
Yeah, continuity and change. Yeah, that's, you know, it sounds like a bit of a yes minister type line there, I've got to say. But those two things need to be maintained, don't they? I mean, she needs to say how she's going to be different from Alan Joyce, but they want to continue the successful bits, right?
Well, that's right. And do bear in mind that one of the, if you like, hallmarks of Alan Joyce's career is going to be this Operation Sunrise, where you've got direct long-haul flights coming from Australia into New York or into Europe, into Rome and London. And so, you know, these were not only sort of ambitious management projects, but they were also ambitious technical projects as well, to see whether you could really achieve this, the impact on crews, the impact on passengers, whether there was a demand from passengers for these things. And so really, when aviation is moving forward and looking for, a net zero emissions, and the way in which passengers behave in a post-COVID era where maybe you don't see as much business travel as you have in the past, these are the challenges that confront any airline executive right now. And obviously, clearly, the ongoing financial pressures on airlines, because they are capital hungry. They will never stop being capital hungry because the technology and the passenger expectations continue to change and evolve and, to be honest, be upgraded at every stage.
Yep. Ross, thanks so much. We'll see you soon, and we'll be getting that media conference live at 10:30 as well.